This is what most Americans innocently put into their bodies these days, and most alarmingly, into the bodies of their children. And it's no coincidence that Americans die earlier than Canadians or Germans or Italians or Japanese or Koreans or Australians or most any other comparable country. We're having epidemics of all these chronic illnesses, autoimmune diseases, neurological diseases, allergic diseases.
We all have our guilty pleasures, but some foods are so unhealthy that even just a little can do a number on your body.
Actually counterbalance that added sugar. And the same goes for artificial colors and dyes that go into there. Those colors are getting made in a lab.
You might love them, crave them, and even defend them. But let's be real, these foods aren't doing you any favors. And yes, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is practically begging Americans to put them down.
And FDA to doing the research to understand the relationship between these different food additives.
What are the foods that Americans need to stop eating? What are the reasons behind Robert's prayers? In this video, we will look at 20 foods that Americans need to stop eating,
so that Americans understand it and make sure that Americans are aware of it. I don't want to take food away from anybody.
Potato chips. Potato chips are everywhere. They're at parties, in lunch boxes, and stacked on the store shelves in flashy bags that make them impossible to ignore.
This is my bag of Ruffles potato chips.
And once you open a bag, it's game over. No one eats just one. But the sad reality is that these crispy, salty slices of heaven are doing serious damage to your body, bite by bite. First, let's talk about sodium overload. A single 8-ounce bag of plain chips can contain up to 1,200 milligrams of sodium. That's well over half the daily recommended intake from the World Health Organization. And let's be real, most of us eat way more than the suggested serving size. What happens when you take in too much salt? Your body retains water, making you feel bloated and sluggish. Not to mention, high sodium levels can spike your blood pressure, increasing the risk of heart disease and stroke over time. But the problems don't stop there. Chips are deep fried, just like French fries, meaning they soak up unhealthy fats that contribute to weight gain and clogged arteries. And because they're designed to stay crispy for months, they're often loaded with preservatives that don't belong in your body. Let's also not forget about acrylamides, which are chemicals that form when starchy foods are fried at high temperatures. Studies suggest acrylamides could be linked to an increased risk of cancer, and while research is ongoing, do you really want to take that risk for a handful of chips? If you're shocked by this, what other food items are even more dangerous? Brace yourself. The most shocking part is still ahead. French fries. French fries might just be one of the hardest foods to give up. They're served with burgers, piled high on plates at diners, and come in a red carton that practically calls your name at drive-thrus. But here's the brutal truth. These crispy golden potato sticks are health nightmares. A plain baked potato, about 93 calories and hardly any fat. Deep fry it into fries, you're now looking at 310 calories and 14.7 grams of fat per 100 grams. That's not just a minor jump, it's a full-on transformation from harmless veggie to a fat-soaked disaster. But the real danger isn't just the extra calories. It's what happens during the deep frying process. Potatoes lose water and absorb loads of oil, and that oil isn't the good kind. It's often packed with trans fats and saturated fats, both of which raise bad cholesterol and increase the risk of heart disease. And let's talk about portion sizes. No one ever eats just a handful of fries. A large order, that can easily top 500 calories, and if you dip them in mayo or cheese sauce, you're just stacking on more unhealthy fats. To make matters worse, fried foods have been linked to inflammation and an increased risk of type 2 diabetes. So what's the solution? You don't have to say goodbye to fries forever, but you should definitely make them at home using an air fryer or oven. You'll still get that crispy bite, but with way less oil, fewer unhealthy fats, and none of the regret. Breakfast cereals. Breakfast cereals might seem like a harmless way to start your morning, but don't be fooled by the bright packaging and health claims. Many cereals are nothing more than sugar bombs disguised as breakfast. A single serving can contain up to 18 grams of sugar, about 5 teaspoons, which is dangerously close to the daily limit of 9 teaspoons for men and 6 for women. And let's be honest, when was the last time you actually measured out a single serving?
Typical mom on a family farm in pre-industrial agrarian times.
Most people pour double that amount without even realizing it. But sugar isn't the only problem. Most cereals are made from refined grains, which means the natural fiber and nutrients have been stripped away during processing. This leads to quick digestion, blood sugar spikes, and energy crashes, leaving you hungry way before lunchtime. Over time, this pattern increases the risk of weight gain, insulin resistance, and even type 2 diabetes.
This is not to say all cereals are bad, because it is still a healthier choice for your kids. I know my kids eat cereal.
And then there are the artificial additives. Many cereals contain preservatives, artificial flavors, and food dyes, some of which have been linked to hyperactivity in children and other health issues. Even the ones labeled whole grain or high fiber often contain hidden sugars and processed ingredients. For a better breakfast, opt for whole grain oats, plain yogurt with fresh fruit, or eggs.
Actually counterbalance that added sugar. And the same goes for artificial colors and dyes that go into there.
Your body deserves real food, not a bowl of candy disguised as a morning meal. Noodles is another possible morning meal, but you might want to rethink your next meal after this. Instant noodles. Instant ramen may be the ultimate quick meal, but it's far from a healthy one.
Today, we investigate instant soups and ramen noodles.
While it's cheap, convenient, and undeniably tasty, it's also loaded with sodium, unhealthy fats, and practically no real nutrition. A single serving can contain up to 1,500 milligrams of sodium, about 3/4 of the recommended daily limit. And since most people eat the entire package, they're consuming nearly a full day's worth of salt in one sitting. What's the problem with too much sodium? It makes your body retain water, leading to bloating, high blood pressure, and increased strain on your heart.
Might make your favorite instant soup a little healthier. As you point out, you can actually use half the packet of seasoning.
Over time, a high-sodium diet raises the risk of heart disease, stroke, and kidney issues. And let's not forget the little seasoning packet. It's packed with artificial flavor enhancers like MSG, which some people say cause dizziness, headaches, and nausea. The noodles themselves aren't any better. To give them that long shelf life, they're often deep-fried before packaging, meaning they're loaded with unhealthy trans fats. These fats clog arteries, raise bad cholesterol levels, and increase the risk of obesity and heart disease. If you love ramen, try making a healthier version with fresh noodles, low-sodium broth, and real vegetables. As Robert F. Kennedy Jr. said, "I pray all Americans stop eating these foods, and instant ramen is definitely one of them." Processed cheese.
Every cheese. We're going to talk about how to cut, serve, and store cheeses.
Cheese is a beloved ingredient in many meals, but not all cheese is created equal. While natural cheese is made from milk, salt, and cultures, processed cheese is a completely different story. Those bright orange slices, canned cheese spreads, and fast food cheese toppings are packed with additives, preservatives, and unhealthy fats that do more harm than good. One of the biggest issues with processed cheese is its excessive sodium content. Some varieties contain 50% more salt than natural cheese, which contributes to high blood pressure, bloating, and an increased risk of heart disease.
Time for the holidays and all the baking that goes with them. New research suggests high dairy fats are good for your heart.
But that's not all. Processed cheese is also loaded with unhealthy fats, which can contribute to weight gain and cholesterol problems over time. Then there's the long list of artificial ingredients. Manufacturers add emulsifiers, preservatives, and artificial colorings to create a smooth, stretchy texture and extend shelf life. Some processed cheeses even contain added starches and vegetable oils, making them more of a science experiment than a dairy product. While they may melt beautifully on a burger, they offer little to no real nutritional value. Processed cheese is everywhere, from fast food to packaged snacks, but that doesn't mean it belongs in your diet. Instead, opt for real cheese like cheddar, Swiss, or mozzarella. When it comes to cheese, the less processed, the better. What other processed food should you avoid? You're at the edge of your seat and it's about to get even better. Instant mashed potatoes.
Today we are taking a 50-pound bag of potatoes that we got and turning them into instant mashed potatoes.
Instant mashed potatoes might seem like a lifesaver on busy nights, but they come with hidden downsides that could make you rethink that quick fix. These dehydrated flakes may resemble real mashed potatoes, but they're packed with extra ingredients that change their nutritional value entirely. One big concern is the sodium content. A single serving can contain around 440 milligrams of sodium, which is nearly 25% of the recommended daily limit. But let's be honest, No one eats just one serving. If you're adding butter or extra seasoning, that number climbs even higher. Too much sodium can lead to high blood pressure, bloating, and increased risk of heart disease. Then there's the calorie count. While fresh potatoes are relatively low in calories, instant mashed potatoes pack over 200 calories per cup. That's because manufacturers add unhealthy saturated fats and preservatives to improve the texture and flavor. These additives can contribute to weight gain and other long-term health problems.
Remember the best-selling book, Potatoes, Not Prozac? Well, I have no love lost on antidepressants.
Speaking of additives, instant mashed potatoes contain emulsifiers and stabilizers to give them a creamy, smooth texture.
Completely cooked, we drained all the water out and just mashed all the potatoes.
Some brands even include ingredients like silicon dioxide and artificial flavors, which have little to no nutritional benefit. For a healthier alternative, try mashing fresh potatoes at home. It takes a little more effort, but you'll avoid excessive sodium, preservatives, and unhealthy fats. Plus, keeping the skins on adds extra fiber and nutrients. Your body and your taste buds will thank you. Microwaved popcorn. Microwave popcorn might be the easiest movie night snack, but there's a lot more in that bag than just popcorn. While plain air-popped popcorn is a healthy whole-grain snack, the microwavable kind comes loaded with chemicals, artificial flavorings, and unhealthy fats. One major issue is the packaging. Microwave popcorn bags are often coated with perfluorinated compounds, which prevent grease from soaking through the bag. The problem? These chemicals can break down into perfluorooctanoic acid, a substance linked to cancer and other serious health risks. Even though some manufacturers have phased out PFOA, other similar compounds may still be present. Then there's the butter flavor, that rich, buttery aroma. It often comes from artificial flavoring agents, including diacetyl, which has been linked to respiratory problems when inhaled in large amounts. Some brands claim to have removed diacetyl, but they may have replaced it with other artificial chemicals. Microwave popcorn is also high in sodium and unhealthy fats. Some varieties contain trans fats.
But anyway, 95% of popcorn is GMO. So that's one of the problems.
Which raise bad cholesterol and increase the risk of heart disease. Even the lower fat versions are still heavily processed and contain artificial ingredients labeled as natural flavors.
Perfectly popped, I'd say. I mean, it's the perfect amount in this container.
Leaving you with no idea what's actually in them. For a healthier alternative, try air popping your own popcorn at home. It's easy, inexpensive, and lets you control the ingredients. Add a little olive oil, sea salt, or nutritional yeast for a delicious, guilt-free snack. Your health will thank you for skipping the microwave bag. Guess the next food that you might want to banish forever? With this next food, you'll think twice before taking another bite. Hot dog. Talk about the ultimate junk food. If you've ever wondered what's really inside a hot dog, you might want to look away now. These processed meat sticks are made from meat trimmings, which is just a fancy way of saying leftover bits of pork, beef, or chicken that have been mechanically separated into a paste. Yes, you read that right. Hot dogs start as a pinkish paste that's blended with salt, preservatives, and a bunch of chemicals before being molded into those familiar tubes. One major issue with hot dogs is their sky-high sodium content.
Mustard here is weird because it's more that like wasabi, like attached to like the back of your nose.
But I love this.
It's really good.
It's really good. I told you, man, this dog is incredible.
A single hot dog can have over 500 milligrams of sodium, about a quarter of your recommended daily intake. And let's be honest, no one eats just one. Too much sodium can lead to high blood pressure, bloating, and an increased risk of heart disease. But that's not all. Many hot dogs contain high fructose corn syrup, HFCS, which is linked to obesity and metabolic issues. Some brands also add nitrates and nitrites, which help preserve the meat but have been associated with a higher risk of cancer. If you love a good handheld meal, why not try a veggie sandwich instead? Load up whole grain bread with fresh veggies, hummus, or avocado for a satisfying, heart-healthy alternative. Your body will thank you. White bread. There's something nostalgic about a fluffy slice of white bread, but here's the hard truth. It's basically empty calories. White bread is made from refined flour, meaning all the good stuff like fiber, vitamins, and minerals has been stripped away during processing.
I'm going to shape the dough into a uniform shape. I'm just folding it into itself so I can...
What's left? A soft, airy bread that offers very little nutritional value. To make matters worse, many brands use bleached flour, which undergoes chemical processing to make it whiter and finer in texture. Some even add sugar to improve taste and shelf life.
This bread has got kind of a sweet flavor, a honey.
Making it more like a sugary snack than a wholesome food. This combination of refined flour and added sugar causes your blood sugar to spike and crash, leaving you feeling hungry again in no time. Another issue is the lack of fiber.
Now look, people have been using sugar and fat in doughs for centuries.
Whole grains help slow digestion and keep you full longer, but white bread lacks this benefit. Without fiber, it's easier to overeat and feel sluggish afterward. Would you be able to stop eating bread? Well, what about red meat? Stay tuned. The unhealthy details about red meat will leave you speechless. Red meat. A juicy burger at a barbecue or a perfectly cooked steak might be a delicious treat, but eating red meat regularly could spell trouble for your health. Red meat is high in saturated fat, which can increase bad cholesterol levels and put you at risk for heart disease when consumed in excess.
It's the red meat that's causing the cancer and not all the other foods that they're eating, okay? So
studies have linked excessive red meat consumption to higher risks of heart disease, diabetes, and even certain cancers. Processed red meats, like bacon and sausages, are even worse due to added preservatives and nitrates, which have been connected to long-term health risks. Another downside, red meat takes longer to digest compared to other proteins, which can leave you feeling sluggish.
Is red meat really the single best food you can eat?
Plus, grilling or frying red meat at high temperatures can create harmful compounds called heterocyclic amines and polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons, PAHs, which have been linked to cancer. Instead of making red meat a regular part of your diet, consider healthier alternatives. Grilled salmon or sashimi is packed with omega-3 fatty acids.
Because most people are caught in the crossfire of conflicting information around red meat,
which support heart health and reduce inflammation. Plant-based options like lentils, beans, and tofu also provide plenty of protein without the health risks. Making the switch can help keep your arteries clear and your body feeling its best. Donuts. Donuts might be one of the most tempting treats out there, but let's be real, they're basically sugar bombs covered in even more sugar. These fried rings of deliciousness are loaded with refined flour, processed sugar, and unhealthy fats, making them a nutritional disaster. They provide a quick burst of energy, but leave you crashing hard soon after. One of the biggest problems with donuts is their high trans fat and saturated fat content. Many donuts are deep fried in oils that contain trans fats, which are notorious for raising bad cholesterol levels and increasing the risk of heart disease. Even if they claim to be trans fat-free, they often still contain highly processed saturated fats, which aren't much better for your arteries. And let's talk about sugar.
This seems like an odd one for us. Donuts are already one of the cheapest foods on the planet, coming in at this price per donut on average.
A single donut can contain as much as 20 to 30 grams of sugar, sending your blood sugar on a roller coaster ride. Regular consumption of ultra-processed sugary foods has been linked to higher rates of obesity, insulin resistance, and even depression. That's right. What starts as a sweet pick-me-up can actually contribute to mood swings and low energy levels.
Delicate donuts to fall off of that conveyor belt. I mean, being North Kakalaki boys.
If you're craving something sweet, why not try apple slices drizzled with almond butter and sprinkled with cinnamon? It might not sound as exciting as a frosted donut, but once your taste buds adjust, you'll find natural sweetness just as satisfying without the sugar crash. If you're able to let go of donuts, can you let go of the delicious milkshakes? Brace yourself, because what's hiding in your favorite milkshake might make you think twice. Milkshakes. While milkshakes may not be as popular as they once were, their sweet, creamy allure continues to make them a beloved indulgence across the world. However, behind their nostalgic charm lies a truth that might leave a bitter taste.
But the downtown was our second location, was our first expansion for the Milkshake Factory, and we got an opportunity with PNC Bank to open up.
Milkshakes are loaded with high levels of sugar, unhealthy fats, and calories. Many milkshakes are made with flavored syrups, sugary sauces, or sweetened powders, all of which can add a significant amount of sugar to the drink. This is made worse by the high levels of unhealthy fats found in the whole milk, ice cream, or whipped cream used in their preparation. All of this contributes to their high-calorie content.
Today we're making this ultimate chocolate milkshake. The first thing we need to do is decorate our glass.
A typical milkshake can contain up to 500 calories depending on the size and ingredients used. Consuming too many calories can lead to weight gain and other health issues. Opting for smaller sizes or choosing low-fat milk with natural sweeteners can help make milkshakes a healthier indulgence. Rice milk. Rice milk might sound like a good dairy-free alternative, but nutritionally, it's one of the weakest options out there. It's made by blending rice with water and straining out the solids, which means it's mostly just starch and water. While it's naturally lactose-free and low in fat, it's also lacking in the essential nutrients you'd expect from a milk substitute. One of the biggest concerns with rice milk is its high carbohydrate content. A single cup contains around 33 grams of carbohydrates. That's 3 times more than regular cow's milk.
In this video, I'm going to talk to you about the benefits of drinking Vitasoy rice milk high fiber.
This makes it a terrible choice for diabetics or anyone trying to manage their blood sugar. Unlike whole grains that provide fiber to slow down digestion, rice milk is quickly absorbed, causing spikes in blood sugar levels and increasing the risk of insulin resistance over time. Another downside? It's seriously lacking in protein. Unlike soy or almond milk, which offers some protein,
homemade rice milk. And this stuff actually tastes really decent.
Rice milk has almost none. If you're using it as a replacement for dairy, you'll be missing out on an important macronutrient that helps keep you full and supports muscle health. To make matters worse, rice milk is also low in calcium, with only about 1% of your recommended daily intake per serving. If you're looking for a healthier, dairy-free option,
or light you want it, it's up to you. But there go cashew milk, there go rice milk. Bon appetit.
Go for unsweetened almond milk, oat milk, or soy milk. These alternatives have better nutritional profiles and won't send your blood sugar on a roller coaster ride. What other food items would you have to thrash after this video? Stay tuned, the most interesting part is still ahead. Soda drinks. Soda may be fizzy, refreshing, and fun to drink, but the health risks far outweigh the temporary pleasure. It's no secret that soda is packed with sugar. Just one can contains around 37 grams of sugar, which is more than 9 teaspoons. That's an entire sugar overload in just a few gulps. This excessive sugar intake has been directly linked to weight gain, insulin resistance, and a significantly higher risk of developing type 2 diabetes. But the problems don't stop there. Soda is also one of the worst culprits when it comes to tooth decay.
Eating a lot of beans and farting, so we're going to do a sugar drink. They also got the regular.
The combination of sugar and acid is a nightmare for your teeth, slowly eroding enamel and increasing your chances of cavities. Many sodas also contain phosphoric acid, which has been linked to lower bone density, making your bones more fragile over time.
And now for the soda that sparked the entire debate, we've got Coke.
If that wasn't bad enough, the caffeine in some sodas can lead to dehydration and interfere with calcium absorption, further weakening bones. Think diet sodas are a safer option? Think again. While they don't contain sugar, they're loaded with artificial sweeteners like aspartame or sucralose, which have their own set of potential health risks, including metabolic issues and increased cravings for sugary foods. Margarine. Margarine has long been marketed as a healthier alternative to butter, but is it really? While it's true that margarine is plant-based and lower in saturated fat, that doesn't necessarily make it good for you. In fact, many margarine products are highly processed and loaded with unhealthy trans fats, which have been linked to an increased risk of heart disease, stroke, and inflammation. Trans fats raise bad cholesterol while lowering good cholesterol, making them one of the worst fats you can consume. But that's not the only issue.
Vegan margarine, it's lactose-free, gluten-free, no trans fat.
Margarine is often packed with artificial additives and preservatives to improve its taste, texture, and shelf life. Many brands contain artificial colors, chemical flavoring agents, and excess salt or sweeteners, all of which do little for your health. Some margarine products are even made with hydrogenated oils, which are chemically altered to remain solid at room temperature, a process that creates even more trans fats in the final product. Butter, on the other hand, is a natural dairy product with minimal processing.
So a few months ago, Dave and I did a taste test on butter, where we just took bites of the sticks to test the butter. You can see it right here.
While it does contain saturated fat, recent research suggests that moderate consumption of natural fats may not be as harmful as once thought. If you're looking for a healthier option, consider using spreads made from olive oil, avocado, or ghee, which provide heart-healthy fats without the artificial additives. Margarine might seem like a better choice,
It's like the soft butter. So we have avocado oil margarine.
but in reality, it could be doing more harm than good. Away from margarine, what protein do you eat your food with? Your choice of protein might be ruining your health without you even knowing. Processed meats. That crispy strip of bacon in the morning might smell amazing, but processed meats come with some serious health concerns. Foods like bacon, sausages, hot dogs, and deli meats are loaded with sodium, saturated fats, and preservatives, making them some of the unhealthiest options out there. The curing, smoking, and salting processes used to extend their shelf life and enhance flavor also significantly increase their sodium content. Consuming too much sodium is linked to high blood pressure, heart disease, and stroke, which is why health experts often recommend limiting these meats. But the real danger lies in the nitrates and nitrites, common preservatives used in processed meats. These compounds help maintain color and flavor, but have also been associated with an increased risk of cancer, particularly colorectal cancer. Studies suggest that when nitrates are exposed to high heat during cooking, they can form harmful carcinogenic compounds. While an occasional hot dog at a ball game or a Sunday morning bacon treat isn't going to ruin your health, regularly eating processed meats can increase long-term risks.
Likewise, a liter of pomegranate juice contributes about 100 times more nitrite.
Candy bars. Candy bars might seem like an innocent treat, but they're essentially sugar bombs wrapped in shiny packaging. A single candy bar can contain around 17 grams of sugar, most of which is refined and quickly absorbed by the body. The problem? These sugars provide a quick energy spike, followed by a crash that leaves you feeling sluggish and craving even more sweets.
42 grams product.
This cycle can contribute to overeating, weight gain, and, over time, an increased risk of insulin resistance in type 2 diabetes. But that's not all. Candy bars are also high in empty calories, meaning they provide little to no nutritional value. They lack fiber, protein, or healthy fats that keep you full, making it easy to eat too many without feeling satisfied. And let's not forget the artificial flavors, colors, and preservatives packed into these sweets to make them last longer and taste more addictive.
You know what goes great with popcorn? That would be chocolate.
Of course, enjoying a candy bar now and then won't ruin your health, but if you're reaching for them daily, it's time to rethink your snack choices. Try swapping out candy bars for healthier alternatives like fresh fruit, dark chocolate with a high cocoa content, or homemade energy bites made from nuts and dried fruits. These options can still satisfy your sweet tooth without the sugar overload or unnecessary additives.
But that's basically what it feels like. It feels like one intense hangover the next day.
Store-bought salad dressing. A fresh, colorful salad loaded with veggies sounds like the ultimate healthy meal until you drown it in store-bought dressing. That seemingly harmless drizzle can completely undo your healthy intentions. Many commercial dressings, especially creamy ones like ranch and blue cheese, are packed with saturated fats, which can increase bad cholesterol levels and raise the risk of heart disease. Then there's the calorie count. Just 1 tablespoon of French dressing has around 67 calories. And let's be honest, no one stops at just 1 spoonful. By the time you've finished your salad, you may have consumed more calories than a cheeseburger.
Program. First one is a creamy Italian. I remember creamy Italian from years ago.
And that's not all. Store-bought dressings often contain preservatives, artificial flavors, and added sugars to enhance taste and extend shelf life. Some even include unhealthy hydrogenated oils or high fructose corn syrup. Instead of letting these processed ingredients sneak into your meal, why not whip up your own dressing?
Balsamic vinegar and this extra virgin olive oil.
A simple mix of olive oil, balsamic vinegar, lemon juice, and a pinch of salt can give you all the flavor without the extra junk. It's healthier, fresher, and you get full control over what goes into your food. What about our beloved fruit juices? Can they also be a danger to your body and health? What you're about to hear will blow your mind. Packaged juice. Juice boxes might seem like a healthy and convenient choice, but they can be just as sugary as soda. While fruit naturally contains sugar, packaged juices often have added sweeteners to enhance their flavor. A single cup of boxed juice can contain up to 21 grams of sugar, more than 5 teaspoons. That's a serious sugar rush without much nutritional benefit. One major downside of packaged juice is the lack of fiber.
This is real orange juice, Tetra Pak, 1 liter.
When you eat whole fruit, the fiber helps slow down sugar absorption, preventing sudden blood sugar spikes. But when the fiber is removed during processing, all you're left with is a sugary liquid that quickly hits your bloodstream, causing energy crashes and sugar cravings soon after.
Sugar and calories. If you like sipping on juice.
This is why drinking fruit juice doesn't keep you full the way eating whole fruit does. Beyond sugar and fiber loss, many packaged juices contain preservatives, artificial flavors, and added acids to extend shelf life and maintain taste. Some brands even use fruit concentrates, which strip away even more nutrients. If you think your 100% fruit juice is as healthy as fresh fruit, think again. A smarter choice? Make fresh juice at home, or even better, eat the whole fruit. You'll get all the vitamins, fiber, and antioxidants without the unnecessary sugar overload. If you still crave juice, try blending whole fruits with water for a fiber-packed drink that won't send your blood sugar on a roller coaster ride.
But if you're someone who has trouble absorbing nutrients from food, juicing is a great way.
Dates. Dates have become a staple in many so-called healthy diets, but they might not be as guilt-free as they seem. While dates are a natural source of fiber, vitamins, and minerals, they are also incredibly high in sugar. Eating just 3 dates can already push your daily sugar intake to significant levels before you've even factored in other sweet foods. The issue isn't with whole dates themselves, it's how they're used. Many snack bars, protein balls, and sugar-free desserts rely on dates as a natural sweetener. The problem? The fiber-to-sugar ratio in these products is often too low to make a real difference.
But what they have going for them is the taste, especially.
This means you're still consuming a sugar-heavy treat, just in a different form. Dates contain natural fructose, which when eaten in excess, can still cause blood sugar spikes and energy crashes, similar to refined sugar. Another downside is portion control. Unlike whole fruits like apples or oranges, dates are small and easy to overeat. If you're snacking on them mindlessly, you could end up consuming way more sugar than you intended. A better approach is to eat them in moderation and pair them with protein or healthy fats, like nuts or yogurt, to slow sugar absorption. So while dates are better than processed candy, they're still not a free pass to unlimited snacking. Balance is key.
Really, really good, and also just tastes like caramel, nice and sweet.
Are there any of these foods you would completely give up? And which ones are just too hard to resist? Let us know what you think in the comment section. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Click on the next video displayed on your screen. You will enjoy it.